Man, it's really disappointing because after you have a failure, you want to see a response. So you think CONCACAF Nations League, we're going to come out and we're going to fight and we're going to get things back on track, and we didn't do that. And you had 2 games to show more, and it's not enough. We're not where we need to be.
So obviously CONCACAF Nations League is now done with, and it was a disappointing tournament for the United States. What does that mean in terms of what happens next? Well, these are the dates that we have that are upcoming for the US men's national team before, of course, the all-important World Cup, which starts June 12th, 2026. So we've got a couple of friendlies coming up in the summer, which are against Switzerland and Turkey. You've got the Gold Cup, which will be a huge focus on that one. Of course, then another couple of friendlies will hopefully be slotted in those international windows, and then the last week of preparation ahead of the World Cup kicking off. When you look at that, does it not actually feel like a great deal of time to prepare a team? Thierry, you can probably speak to this well, having coached national teams.
It's not really the amount of dates, it's how many days you're going to have with the team on the field all together there. That's the thing that people do not understand. As a coach, end of the season, sometimes you have guys that are coming that they need to recover a bit more than the others, so therefore you have like 5 on the field, 5 inside, and 5 that are training a bit more hard than the guy that will do 45 minutes. You know, it's not that easy to put a philosophy and identity in place, but that's the job of a coach also. Look, you're not at a club level where you might have a year or 2 years, if that, we all know now in the modern game, but that's what's difficult. And I said it, when they came here, for example, with obviously Pochettino, when they arrived, so they recover. Thereafter, you train, but you can't train too much because it's day before the game. And then you have the game, and then you do the same thing. So how many times did you have the guys training? Look at what Thierry Henry said. We didn't work it. And it looks like they worked it. He said it. We didn't work at it. We just spread 4-4-2, and because they have an understanding of playing like that as both 9, and they understood what they had to do quickly, maybe videos and whatnot, but it's not easy to build a team like that. That's why for Javier Aguirre to do what he did in such a small amount of time without even working it, it's not easy. So yes, it looks like you have the time to do that, but how many days you're going to spend with that team and that full squad, knowing also that in the Gold Cup you won't have your full squad. It is not easy.
What was there that happened over these last 4 days or whatever it was that we've been together watching this football that gives you hope for 2026, Clint?
I mean, if I'm being honest with you, there's not much that gives me hope from what I saw. You know what I mean? If I'm keeping it 100. I mean, what happened in Copa America and now what's happened here, it's like, man, it's really disappointing because after you have a failure, you want to see a response. So you think CONCACAF Nations League, we're going to come out and we're going to fight and we're going to get things back on track, and we didn't do that. And you had 2 games to show more, and it's not enough. We're not where we need to be. And things that stand out for me is you look at Panama and how together they were. You look at Santiago Jimenez talking about his playing partner up top and the admiration he has for him and being humble and being able to work for the guy next to him. I don't know what it's like inside the national team camp, but there didn't seem like a togetherness to me that we used to have in the past where everybody's fighting for each other. So I think they need to get back to that. They need to get back to getting this fan base on board and less talking and more doing it on the field. So for me, there's not a lot of positives, if I'm being honest, but I mean, what do you think, Mo?
I will say after the game I was watching, right? I was watching the players to see, and it's not fair to always judge it based off of those optics, right? Because it's a game, you lost, you're frustrated, you're annoyed, so your emotions could be displayed maybe not the way that you want them to come across. But I did see Tim Weah. He went from player, a lot of people's heads dropped. You lost the game, there's frustration, fans are not happy, we're not happy, they're not happy. But I did see him go from player to player to player, trying to pick them up. Hey, head up, shaking their hand like, let's go. It's, yeah, you're frustrated, I'm frustrated, we lost the game. But I did see him do that. You asked the question of what can you take away that gives you hope. Diego Luna. Diego Luna was a player that was given an opportunity. And that, to me, he impressed in his opportunity. Was he a standout? Was he a 10 out of 10? No. But he was something different from the way that he approached the game, from the things that he tried. He got an assist in the game today. So to me, there's still a hunger there. There's still players that are hungry to make a statement, to show their worth, to make sure that they're a part of this program going forward. I was happy to see that Tyler's back in the team. He had been out of the team for a long time. He hadn't really been in cap under Pochettino. So there's small things that you can try to build on, but I will say that you mentioned it, we've all kind of mentioned it, it really stresses this summer. Those 2 games before the Gold Cup have been have been structured that way to kind of set the cadence in line with what the World Cup is going to feel like. And so that whole summer is going to be really, really important.
And I think Titi said it perfectly earlier. We came here looking for answers, and we leave with more questions.
I mean, I guess Mexico is the flip side of that, right? You leave here feeling maybe better and more confident than you came into it, and you can kind of look forward to the next few months with a positive perspective.
Yeah, I agree. Thursday we talked about this rebirth of Mexico, and I think we saw it in this tournament. When I was watching the U.S. here pitch side, I was telling Thierry, like, I don't see any hunger from the players. I don't feel that energy of like, oh, I want to win. I got to fight for my teammate. I need to step up. I didn't feel that. With Mexico, I felt that. I felt that in both games. Even when Panama scored and tied the match, I still felt that for Mexico. Yeah, they weren't playing their best game. Yeah, they were sitting back a little bit, but I still saw it in every single player. They're ready and willing to fight for their country. And I think that has a lot to do with that. The leadership is clear. Raúl said it. They all look up to Aguirre. They all trust and believe in what he's saying and what he's doing. And I think on the field, you have Raúl Jimenez and you have Edson Alvarez. I don't know if the U.S. has it that clear.
There's something I wanted to add. Sometimes, this is what I would have said to the team. Like, the biggest positive thing is you can't be worst. So just go out there and try to perform and play. It can't be worse than what it is. I think sometimes that fear that people can have or a team can have, it can be worse. It's bad what I'm going to say. I know in a certain way, but that's the only positive thing. Is like, come on. You gotta do better. It can't be worse than that.
Oh, well, there you go, America. There's something to hold on to. It can't be any worse.
Not in that way, Kate. Don't twist it.
I'm not twisting it.
It was a positive message to the team.
Yes.
It can't be worse than
Amen.
that. You like to twist stuff, but it's okay.
There's only up from here.
But she knows what she's doing, It's okay.
She repeated what you said anyway. We're not going to bicker as we
not
go
like
off
that,
there.
Kate. It's
I feel
okay.
like that would be a bad
We
look.
know you. That's more CBS Champions League, but it's a different frame here. I thought it was a bit of a positive thing, but it's okay. I'm ready for that. I'm just saying it can't be worse than that. So be good.
Hey,
I believe personally. Don't believe, Kate. I believe.